Hi and welcome back to Save with Crypto. My name is Save with Crypto, and yesterday I had the absolute pleasure of spending a couple of hours with our friend Roman. Roman is an XTP holder like myself, but he's also a shareholder in Tap Global as well. And we talked to the CEO, Arsen Torosian, about Tap Global, about the way things are going, about the future expansion of Tap, and lots of other topics that were provided by the community. Now, the video will get released on Tuesday, so the purpose of this video is just to give you an idea of what we talked about. And much of this was stuff that we talked about previously in the Telegram channel of Tap Global. Now, we had quite a lot of questions to ask, and we didn't get through them all, to be honest, so we might have to do another one of these at some point in the future. But I began by letting Arsen tell us about Tap, about any difficulties they'd faced, and just generally filling us in about how things were going before we got on to the sort of nitty-gritty of the questions. And the question I began with was one that is quite dear to my heart because I live in the UK, and that is about GBP Card Loading. Now, I do believe that GBP Card Loading is going to be a great catalyst for Tap and for the price of the XTP token. Mainly because I think there are a lot of XTP holders that are in the UK. I did talk about how the fact that him and Peter Wall had discussed that GBP card loading was going to happen, well, they thought it was going to happen back in 2025. Now, of course, this hasn't happened yet, so it was good to get an update from Arsen himself about how GBP card loading is going, and it is going okay, it's going good, and I think it has a priority at the moment within the Tap team to get that rolled out as soon as possible. Now, I did have some further questions about the actual way that the card handles different currencies and even crypto, and I will say that if it does end up working the way that Arsen described, it is going to be really fantastic, and it's actually better than any other crypto card solution that I've ever used or even heard of, to be honest. So that is going to be exciting stuff. And of course, this moved on to the other feature that I'm extremely excited about, which is the idea of the IBAN in and out for GBP. Now, I believe this is even going to work for like third parties. So say, for example, you wanted to get your salary paid into your Tap account, you could do that. I guess you could even set up things like, say you've got like a side hustle, like a YouTube channel or something like that. You could actually use the Tap as a bank to pay money into there, and then just be able to use your card or whatever with the amazing cashback that you're getting on the card. We talked about the XTP Exchange listing on the Weeks platform, and I had a query about this because even though Weeks is supported by TradingView, at the moment you can't get a chart of XTP on TradingView, even using Weeks as a source. So it was good to ask Arsen about that. We talked about how Tap are doing their marketing and how they intend to do marketing in the future. We discussed the upcoming Earn feature, where you'll be able to earn interest on Bitcoin, Ethereum, those major cryptos like that. We talked about the token swap functionality because I know some people have noticed that you don't actually know exactly how much you're going to get until the trade has been executed. This is a situation that will get improved, and there was also a few other points that Arsen made that people might not realise, which was actually good news actually, so that would be quite exciting to see about that on Tuesday. And following on from that, the idea of limit orders was also discussed as well, and I think we will have limit orders in the future, which is going to be great, and it's certainly the way I prefer to do things. There are new exchange listings coming up, but we also discussed about how exchange listings can affect the price of a token and how it's not always necessarily a great thing to be listed on a new exchange. For viewers in the US, you'll probably know that your Tap experience is rather limited at the moment, so we did have to discuss that as well. Now, there has been quite a lot of discussion about the state of the withtap.com website, with people pointing out things like typos, general errors, and things that just don't look quite right. Now, I must admit that I have been one of these people complaining about this myself, and it was good to hear that things are being changed, and in fact, the actual entire website is going to get replaced by a new one. So more about that in the full video. We did talk about the roadmap because there hasn't been an updated roadmap since, I believe it was 2024. So that was a good subject to talk about. Now, there were questions from the community about things that I didn't even know existed or were going to exist, such as a share dealing service and other products like home insurance. So although they aren't a priority, we did talk about those as well. And something else that I never knew was happening as well was the idea of like a dedicated Tap social media platform. I think that's kind of working in a similar way to like the Chinese WeChat type thing. So I don't know. If that happened, that could be huge. Now, we all like to be kept in the loop on what's happening, so the community have been asking for more updates and regular updates from Tap on social media, so we talked about that as well, and that is definitely going to improve. We also talked about the Tap Referral Scheme. Now, I didn't actually know about this because this has been disabled in the UK for a few years now, so I think we have Rishi Sunak to thank for that. But yeah, I believe the Tap referral program is alive and well in all the other countries apart from the UK. As you would expect, we had quite a lengthy conversation about XTP and its utility and other ways that the utility could be provided for XTP as well. So that was quite an interesting part of the video, so that's something to look forward to. One of the more controversial things that happened recently was the 3 billion XTP purchase, which was done with no cost. So there was obviously some questions about that, like how could that be done? Arsen's answer was very concise, clear, and pretty good news. We also talked about how a XTP burn could affect the price. The subject of a share capital raise was also discussed, and we talked more about keeping everyone informed with podcasts and regular AMAs. There were some questions about app features and statistics as well, such as how many new users are using the premium tiers. Global expansion into other territories was also discussed, as well as the availability of Apple Pay and Google Pay as well. Now, we were, of course, interested in knowing about new users and if they were using the higher tiers, such as like Platinum and Prestige. And Arsen did talk to us about how this information would be communicated to us in the near future. So that was good. Now, we did also talk about getting accounts available for people who are under 18. I think this is a really good idea. I've got 2 young daughters, and I know that they're very much interested in the whole finance thing and the fintech kind of idea. So I think to get people when they're at a younger age is a really good thing to do. So it was good to hear the plans for that as well. Now, much of the questions from the community were about the progress being slow at Tap. Now, Arsen had a very interesting point about this, and it's worth waiting for, and it will surprise you. And we finished off the talk by discussing how the future could be for Tap Global and also for XTP, the token of Tap Global. Overall, it was a really, really good, fun discussion, and I'm really looking forward to hearing your feedback about it. Now, I have finished editing the video, so I'm going to send it over to the Tap team because they just want to check that everything's correct there and there's nothing misleading there. So they want to be really careful about that, and I certainly don't want to get in any trouble either. So that will be on Tuesday. We were going to publish it on Monday, but Monday's a bank holiday in most countries in the world, so we think it's probably better to wait till Tuesday. So that's when it will be. It will probably be early in the morning Tuesday, so there's that to look forward to. So the best way to not miss the full video when it comes out is to be subscribed to this channel. So please pop down below and make sure you are subscribed. It costs nothing, it helps the channel, and it's all good. I'll probably be making some more videos over the weekend anyway, but it's a nice long weekend. Go and enjoy yourself, have a good time, and I'll see you soon. So just remember to like the video and above all, tell your friends. Please note that this content is for educational and entertainment purposes only and is not financial advice. Any information or opinions provided are not guaranteed to be accurate or complete. Always conduct your own research before making any financial decisions. A full legal disclaimer is in the description of each video and live stream.